In this video, I'm going to be discussing the next location of God of War. Be sure to stay to the end to find out my entire theory and other possible locations. Here we go. We are all excited for the upcoming God of War Ragnarok, and videos and theories have exploded as of recently, which is awesome in my opinion. And there are so many great YouTubers out there that cover the subject so well, so go out and check them out. And I want to thank you all personally for your time and your support. Now, let's get down to business. After God of War Ragnarok, we have fully explored the Norse realm, which in my opinion was a fantastic mythology to explore. But where will the God of War series move to next? What mythology will we dive headfirst into? What gods and goddesses will we have to take on next? Let's take a look, so stay tuned. So let's take a look at the mural that we found in Tyr's vault. On the four corners of the lost mural are four signs, each of them meaning the word Kratos knows all too well: war. Let's take a closer look. In the top right corner is a symbol that should be pretty recognizable if you're a God of War fan. It is the Omega symbol. It is the last letter in the Greek alphabet. It was mainly used to symbolize the end of something or the absolute limit of something. Obviously, in God of War, it symbolizes war. So will we eventually make our way back to Greece? Will Greece find its way to the Norse realm? Or is it just symbolic of the past and shows us our adventures with Kratos from past to present and future? Well, I guess we'll have to continue playing the games to find out. But the Omega symbol isn't the symbol I want to focus on. I want to focus on the other three, so let's take a look. In the lower right of the mural that we found in Tyr's vault is called a Triskel, or Triskelion. And for this video, please excuse the bad pronunciations. The Triskel is one of the oldest Irish symbols in existence. It can be found pretty frequently in Irish art, both modern and ancient alike. The three sides are said to represent many things such as the three realms of existence in Irish mythology, and lore which consists of earth, water, and sky. It is also said to represent many other things such as spiritual, physical, and celestial, past, present, and future, and protection, creation, and destruction, which might be a little more relevant to God of War. A very interesting concept that is connected to the Triskel is reincarnation, which might play a factor in a future game, but who knows. Personally, I would love to explore Irish mythology in God of War. It is a not very common mythology that has been talked about in games, TV, or in movies. Of course, there have been a few, but not nearly as many when it comes to mythologies such as Greek or Norse. This gives the team at Santa Monica the freedom to fully explore the mythology and lore of the Irish people, and bring it to us as players. Maybe a few really cool boss fights such as the demigod Cuchulainn, who is essentially the Irish Hulk, or the Morgan, who is the goddess of fate, who is a symbol of impending doom, and can make the likes of all men go into a war frenzy. I don't know about you, but fighting against those two sound like a lot of fun. But I also don't think this is the next stop in God of War, so stay tuned. The next symbol I want to talk about on the Lost Tyr mural is in the lower left corner. This symbol is called a triple tomo, or the Mitsutomo. The triple tomo is very popular in Buddhist culture, especially in Japan, and is very closely related to the yin and yang symbol because they both seem to be in motion either clockwise or counterclockwise. The triple tomo is said to represent the human soul, and also represent the world triad, which can be considered either heaven, earth, and humanity, or birth, life, and death. I don't know about you, but both the Triple Tomo and the Triskel seem very similar to each other. Now, exploring Japanese culture in God of War would be wicked cool. Now, I don't know much about Japanese mythology and lore, so I did a little digging. And there are some very cool beings and creatures that would be awesome to battle against. For example, we could fight against the Shitano. The Shitano is a group of four gods that protect the Japanese Buddhist temples. Each of them is given a direction, season, virtue, and element. In many translations, they are considered demons, but the Shitano can also be translated to four heavenly gods. Now, these could make for insane battles. Each having their own element of power, could be like the Valkyrie battles. Another really cool enemy that we could see in Japanese culture is the Tengu. The Tengu is a monstrous bird creature that can take the shape of a human. The Tengu was said to be the corruptors of humans and monks and lead them away from their religion. But in more modern times, they are seen as protectors of sacred places such as sacred forests and mountains. The Tengu can make for an amazing enemy in God of War if you ask me. Maybe have them stay in human form to try to lead Kratos astray, but show their real faces when they have them right where they want him. Sounds like an epic fight to me. Now we have one more mythology that could be the next location of God of War, and that symbol is in the upper right corner. Now this one is a little more familiar to me, and it's called a Wadjet, or the Eye of Horus. You could also say it could be the Eye of Ra, but looking at it a little closely, it looks like it's missing a couple of details if it wants to be the Eye of Ra, so I think it's the Eye of Horus. I'm going to put the picture of the Eye of Ra and the Eye of Horus next to each other, and it looks a little more like Horus than it is Ra to me, so we're going to go assume that it is the Eye of Horus. Also known as the Uto, or the Ujat, it is one of the most well-known symbols in Egyptian mythology and culture. The Eye of Horus is said to represent good health, royal power, protection, sacrifice, and many other things. In mythology, Horus gave up his eye to save his father Osiris. So yeah, I can understand why it represents sacrifice for sure. So there are so many awesome creatures and gods that would make awesome battles in our playthrough of God of War if we end up in Egypt. One of them that I'm really excited for and I really want to see is that of Ammit, who is known to be the devourer of the dead. Ammit has a head of a crocodile, the front limbs of a lion, and the back limbs of a hippo. In Egyptian mythology, the god Anubis would weigh the hearts of souls of humans. If their hearts were heavier than the feather of truth, their heart would be devoured by Ammit, and their soul would be cast into a place that is considered a fiery limbo. Now that sounds like a great boss fight. The Devourer of the Dead's Hearts. Sounds fun. Another really cool battle we can have in Egyptian mythology would be against Apep, who is the snake demon of chaos. Just saying, it sounds fun. Apep, also known as Apopus, is the biggest enemy of the sun god Ra. Apep is said to be huge. It could cause earthquakes and spawn huge lightning storms. Now this sounds like a fun boss fight. Kratos against the giant snake of chaos. Sounds friggin' epic. So do I think we will arrive in Egypt after we're done with the Norse world? Yeah, I do. When creating God of War, the creators at Santa Monica were basically split down the middle between the Norse and Egyptian mythologies. But Norse mythology won, because Cory Barlog decided he wanted to explore the Norse realm first. So what do you think? Will we arrive in Egypt after our time in the Norse realm? Or do you think we will go somewhere else like Ireland, Japan, or somewhere that wasn't even mentioned in this video? Tell me what you think in the comments down below. Let's discuss it. My name is Shayne Static, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.